So the Bungie stream just ended for the Heresy Act 1 showcase, and there is a lot to go through. So I'm going to try and compress it all here into a shorter format video for you guys today. Got a whole lot to break through: the new activity, new weapons, new gear, artifact previews, a Star Wars collaboration, and more. So let's not waste any more of your time and just jump straight into it. First off, with that brand new activity. First up here, we have the brand new activity coming with Act 1 anyway, that being the Never. This is a roguelite style activity similar to that of the Coil from Season of the Wish. Basically, you're going to be going through, completing different objectives within the activity, and then throughout doing that, you'll be able to destroy urns, loot chests, and also pick up these boons, which are going to be giving you certain buffs depending on the rarity of boon that you find. You'll find stronger boons and weaker boons just by playing through the activity, and there are 3 different types to this activity. You have the patrol mode, which will allow you to explore the different parts of the Dreadnought that are within this activity. So if you want to explore and find hidden stuff, you can do that in that mode. But then there's also the normal advanced difficulty, where you can just go through and complete the different objectives within the activity and gain loot. And then you have the harder difficulty version as well. So overall, looks really, really cool. The Dreadnought itself, as the backdrop, looks really, really cool. And there's 3 different spots of the Dreadnought, I believe they said, that this activity will take place in. And it's said to be randomized as well, which is giving me kind of menagerie vibes, which is a good sign there. Next up though, let's talk about some of the weapons that we see within this dev stream. Some of these weapons being a part of the Heretical Arsenal, which seems to be a return to some of the shiny weapons that we got within the Into the Light update. So these types of weapons will be adept, so they'll have additional perk options available to them, and just all that good stuff, a unique skin as well, and something that they are calling fragile mods, which are mods that are just exclusive to this episode's time frame, so they'll expire once the episode ends, and these things are going to be like gradually enhancing your weapon in some way. One mod that they covered here in the live stream, they didn't actually hover over it, but they just spoke about it being really good against champions. So even though that weapon might not have an anti-champion mod, this fragile mod will enable it to deal with champions in some way, which is really, really cool. These weapons also come with a unique skin, and I believe in a past tweet they did say that you would be able to get one of these weapons guaranteed weekly. There's something to look forward to there, at least if you weren't all that lucky at getting your hands on these shiny variants. Alongside that, there's also 2 weapons that are showcased here, really. One being a brand new Strand auto rifle of a healing frame, so similar to the Pale Heart weapon that we got with the final shape. This one is a Strand damage type weapon though, and instead of whenever you heal an ally, it won't create a healing pulse around them. Instead, it will create like a Strand unraveling pulse that will then go out and seek targets, so you can basically shoot your allies but also be dealing damage to enemies, which is very, very cool. And then they also take a look at a brand new Arc Aerial Denial Frame Grenade Launcher, and that comes with a brand new perk that is all focused around Bolt Charge, which is super, super exciting because that seems to be a really cool new addition there to the Arc subclass, which we made a video on, I believe, last week at this point. So yeah, great stuff there. And alongside that, we also have some returning weapons. First up, Vault of Glass is going to be getting its weapon loot pool updated. So all the weapons are going to be updated and will come with a brand new origin trait called Time Lost Magazine, where final blows with this weapon grant bonus super energy. And when your super expires, this weapon's magazine size is doubled for a long time and reloads from reserves. So very excited to get my hands on those. And then also, if you played back at Season of Arrivals, some of those weapons are also going to be returning with an origin trait as well, which is very, very exciting if you liked some of those weapons. But moving on to the main juice of the weapon portion here, we got a look at 2 brand new exotic weapons coming with this episode. The first of which being Barrow Diad, a brand new Strand SMG, which has its first trait called Panic Response, where this weapon generates blight as it deals damage, and while not firing, blight depletes and the magazine is gradually refilled. Reload the weapon to convert stored blight into blight seekers, and its other perk is called Taken Divergence, where hitting 3 different targets generates a large amount of blight, and blighted seekers burrow through targets. They also mentioned that this weapon is going to have a whole load of secrets tied into it, and it also has some connection to Weapons of Sorrow, but it's kind of a proto-Weapon of Sorrow, they called it. So very interested lore-wise to see what this weapon's all about. And moving on from that, we also have a brand new Arc Trace Rifle that they went over, which is probably one of the most unique weapons we've gotten to date, in my opinion. So this weapon is called the Lodestar, and it is basically a pulse rifle, trace rifle combo, which is really, really cool. Its first trait is Starlight Beam, where this weapon fires a low intensity arc beam with enhanced stability and accuracy. And then its other trait is called Arc Alignment, where dealing arc damage from any source aligns the battery's coil. When alignment is complete, hold reload to disengage the safety and enable hipfire starlight beam to apply jolts to any targets damaged for a short time. Aim down sight to slow the rate of fire at which the battery drains. So when you aim down sight, it's going to be firing in a pulse rifle like pattern, and then when you're hip firing, it's going to shoot like a normal trace rifle, and you'll be able to jolt targets once that arc alignment is fully charged, which sounds so cool, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this weapon. And this is going to be part of the season pass, so you'll be immediately able to obtain this weapon as soon as the new episode drops next week. And then it wouldn't be a developer live stream if we didn't get a quick look here at the artifact. The first perk that we get a look at here is called Void Flux, where defeating weakened targets with a void weapon applies volatile to nearby targets, and powerful targets increase the radius of the explosion. We then get a look at Maligned Harvest, definitely saying that wrong, but it says rapidly applying volatile causes your next instance of void weapon damage to create a weakening burst, so there's some synergy there. But then we also get here a look at Horde Shuttle, where damaging unraveled targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a Threadling, and then also Flash Over, where while you are at maximum bolt charge, you also become amplified, and lightning bolts deal more damage. They also talk briefly about some of the anti-champion weapons this season, that being Overload Machine Gun, Anti-Barrier Sidearm and Sniper Rifle, and then Unstoppable Linear Fusion Rifle, and Glaive. Then they also mention finally a fan favorite returning artifact perk, that being Particle Reconstruction, where dealing sustained damage with linear fusion rifles or fusion rifles partially refills the magazine from reserves and grants them bonus damage for a short duration against that target. So overall, very good artifact. Very much would recommend getting your hands on these perks as soon as possible, so maybe some bounty prep will be in order if you are interested in these perks. Now, some of the other stuff that they covered in this live stream was the new aspects, which they talked about in last week's TWID, but also some of the Trials of Osiris updates, and they showed off some of the armor there, so I'll just throw that up on screen. They only showed off the Warlock set here, I believe, so I'll just throw that up. And then to end off the stream, they did something that I literally never thought that they would do, and that is announce a collaboration with Star Wars, of all things. So there's 3 different armor sets also coming with the launch of next episode. There's going to be a Stormtrooper Titan, a Death Trooper, I think, a Hunter set, and then a Royal Guard Warlock set, which looks incredible. I'll throw up the image here on screen. These will all be available from the Otherverse store as soon as the new episode drops, so you can go in and grab those when the new episode drops next week. And yeah, overall, this episode is looking really cool. Somehow Oryx is tied into it as well, from the intro image that they showed at the beginning of the live stream, so I'll throw it up here at the end here as well. So yeah, I'm very interested to learn more about this episode. Obviously, it comes out next week. Probably going to be more information about it in the TWID. There's also a new dungeon, raid updates with Vault Glass weapons. So much to go and do, and I'm overall very excited to start playing this when it comes out. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Leave yours in the comment section down below, and that's basically everything that I have for you guys today from this live stream. So if you've enjoyed, if you could leave a like and subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. But that's it from me here today, so I'll catch you guys in the next one.